I am ActivelyAmber, and I will be teaching today a 60-minute, there we go, make sure you can see me, 60-minute called a 201 to 301 Intuitive Vinyasa, but we'll focus on some balancing moves here and there. So if you have some blocks, go ahead and grab some blocks. If you have a chair that you need to use, you can grab that, or if you want to position yourself against a wall, that's fine. So let's get started. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay and see me. So I am outside today in nature, and of course there's all kinds of friendly bugs hanging out. So I'm going to face y'all for just a minute and go ahead and let's get on your mat. And I'm going to just start in my mountain position, but I do want to do a little bit of breath work. So first off, I'm just going to kind of rock, figure out my feet are shoulder width apart. I want to make sure that I'm kind of rocking back and forth, feeling my toes, how they feel on the ground, the ball of my foot, how does it feel on the ground, my heel, the sides. I want to make sure I feel nice and steady. So I want to make sure I can feel every bits and pieces of my leg and foot on the ground. So you want to just kind of rock back and forth, feel it. Find a good steady spot. You're going to stay there, not with straight legs, just with a tiny micro bend in your legs. And what you're going to do first for me is you're just going to, with your shoulders, they're going to go up, back, and down. You're going to put your hands out. Palms are facing forward. Pelvis is going to tilt forward just slightly. Back is straight. You have a little balloon on your head that's kind of pulling you up. And we're going to start with some ujjayi breathing. So for our ujjayi breathing here in our mountain, I just want you to inhale through the nose, and then you're going to exhale through the nose. So we'll try inhaling, and then exhaling through the nose. Inhaling, and exhaling. Beautiful. Keep inhaling and exhaling. While you're inhaling and exhaling, this is a great time to set your intention for today's practice while we're in our mountain pose. You're very powerful. You're connected to the earth with your feet. Your hands are shooting your energy down, and your head is reaching for the heavens. So what is your intention today? What does it look like? Is it to relax? Is it to feel grounded? Is it to feel peace? Is it to be energized? Set that intention that you want for the next hour. And keep inhaling and exhaling through your nose. On your inhales, I want you to expand that belly area. And then the exhale, pulling it back in, okay? So inhaling, belly breath, exhaling, pulling it back in. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna start with just a little bit of flow. So we're gonna inhale up, reaching for the heavens, and then exhale, push it down. Good. Inhale again. Reaching for the sky, exhale it down. Now we're going to just do a small little inhale, exhale. So inhale one arm. I'm going to do my left, reaching over. Exhaling it back down. Inhale the other, the right arm up. Reaching over, exhaling down. Inhaling the left, reaching over. Exhaling it down. Inhaling the right. Exhaling it down. Beautiful. We're going to do both arms together. Inhaling up, cross it over. Exhaling, swan dive down. Crossing it over, reverse swan dive up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale up. And this time we will exhale with our arms just coming down and crossing over. Do that again. Inhale up. Exhale down. Beautiful. So back at, we're going to come back to Mountain or Tadasana. And what I want to do is I want to do a short little flow. So I'm going to come to the front of my mat here so you guys can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of our Surya Namaskar just to kind of get us all active and moving, and then we'll go into a couple of our balancing poses, okay? So first one we'll do pretty slow, just so I can walk you through everything. If you were here last week, we're going to be doing the same and just kind of adding on to some of our moves. So the first thing we're going to do is at our mountain pose. So feet or hands width apart, shoulders up, back, and down. Head is up like the balloon. Fingers are shooting power down into the earth, trying to reach for the earth. Your head is trying to reach for the sky. Knees are slightly bent. Pelvis tilted forward just slightly. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale up. Here you can take a small back bend if you like, and we're going to swan dive, exhaling down. You can hang here for a second. You're not going to be extremely able to put your back of your hands all the way down yet because we're not warmed up yet. We're starting it right here. So we're going to put our hands on our shins and we're going to half lift. So inhale, straighten that back out, and then as you exhale, you release more. And as you can see, my hands are able to fit more on the mat. Just relax it out, release it. Take a couple breaths here. Good. From here, we're going to step back into a lunge. So I'm going to go with my right leg back into my lunge. Both hands are on the opposite side of the knee. I'm being extremely careful not to lean so forward that my knee's over my toes, okay? So always watch your knee when you're in a lunge position. And you're just kind of right here. If you need to, this is where you can also get your blocks. And you can just kind of balance if you can't go all the way down. This is a great one too. So then from there, we're gonna go to plank. So I'm gonna move my blocks out of the way. So we'll go back to plank. So inhale, exhale, back to plank. And on plank, my arms are shoulder width apart. They're underneath my armpits so that I do form a plank. I may need to move my legs out a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and inhale. And as I exhale, I'm gonna go down, pushing those elbows in, and I'm gonna hover, 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 and then you come down. If you can't hover, that's okay, go all the way down. Okay, we were in plank, which is Plankasana. So now we went down to Chaturanga. So now that we're all the way on the mat, we can go into first our Cobra, which is the relaxing part. Some people think you can do Cobra or Up Dog. We're going to do Cobra first. So Cobra or Bhujangasana. You're going to put your hands right next to your chest. You're going to ground your legs into the earth, squeeze your bottom just a little bit here, and elbows tucked in. And when you inhale, you're not gonna push with your arms, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna pull with your back and abs and legs, using all the muscles, and you can use your arms to steady yourself, but you don't want all that pressure and pushing yourself up high. So on the inhale, inhale up. On the exhale though, we're gonna go to down dog. So we're gonna go to Adho Mukha Savasana. So we're gonna curl the toes. We're going to come back down, and we're going to push up into down dog. Push up. Bring your legs forward just a little bit if you need to. Head should be down here. Be able to just kind of freely hang. Inhale and exhale. Since this is our first down dog, hands are spread apart. Go ahead and put one heel down and then the other. We're going to pedal it out. Bottoms up, head's looking down, shoulders are kind of pushing back. Good. And just pedal them out. That always feels really good. Stretching out your calves back there. Now, my leg that was forward last time was my left leg, I believe. So we're going to raise it up. Inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to bring it forward. And what we're going to do is put it right in between into our lunge on the other side. May tilt you the wrong leg, so we'll see. If you need your blocks, you can use your blocks here for your lunge. Lunge, whether it's low lunge or crescent lunge, is Anjaneyasana. I'm trying to memorize my name, so bear with me. Then what we're going to do, we're going to bring both legs together. And we're going to inhale it up slowly. Okay? So that's round one. We're going to go through a couple more times. We will go a little bit faster, taking a couple of breaths in certain positions. But we're just going to kind of get all the major muscles. We've got to get our quads, our hamstrings. We've got to get our glutes warmed up, our shoulders, biceps, triceps, all that. We've got to get them warmed up. So that's where we're working right now. So if anytime you need a water break, take a water break. This one does not give me a whole lot of water, which is good because I'm going upside down. So we'll come back to where your mountain is. And we'll go for another round. Inhale up. Optional, take a small back bend if you'd like. Exhale, swan dive down. You're going to hang here for a second. Hands on the shins. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Good. I'm going to take my right leg back into lunge. Hands come down because now we're going to go to Plankasana. To plank. Beautiful. Make sure your bottom's not up in the air. Make sure it's not hanging down. Try to be pretty straight with it if you can. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Going down and we're hovering, we're hovering. When you can't hover anymore, you go all the way down. So then we're going to go to Cobra or Bhujangasana. Hands together, squeezing the bottom half into the ground, squeezing your bottom together. Inhale up. And then we're going to exhale, curl our toes into down dog or Adho Mukha Savasana. Down dog. Pedal out your feet if you need to. And I did lie to you earlier, since we had this left leg forward, I don't want to do the same leg twice, so I'm actually going to raise up now my right leg, inhale, and exhale, bringing it forward into the lunge, crescent lunge or Anjaneyasana, okay? So I'm at my lunge, I'm going to inhale, as I exhale, bring it forward, inhale, roll it up. Okay, so we've done a couple rounds. We'll do another one. And then I'm going to show you how to do up dog instead of cobra. So we'll do cobra on this one still. Inhale up. Back bend if you like. Swan dive down. Exhaling. Beautiful. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale. Ragdoll. Inhaling, I'm going to go back into my lunge. So again, I'm going to take my left leg or right leg back. Into my lunge, go to my plank, down to my chaturanga, exhaling, folding, and then all the way down. Let me get on my mat position correctly. Hands back here. We're going to go to cobra, so inhale. Curl the toes, and we're going to exhale, Down dog. Beautiful. So then, take a couple breaths in down dog. Pedal off the toes if you like. And since last time it was my left leg forward, now it's my right. Inhale. Bring it up. Swing it forward into your lunge position. Exhale together. Inhale up. Beautiful. So now, let's take a cleansing breath up here, and then I'm going to show you how to change it up. Inhale up. Exhale. Just push it out. Good. So now on this one, I'm going to switch legs, and I'm also going to show you how to do up dog instead of cobra. So we'll go ahead and get into our mountain pose. Feet are apart. You ready? Inhale up. Optional back bend. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, ragdoll. So now with my lunge, I'm going to take my left leg back. And then I'm going to go into my Planchasana. This is where we're going to be just a tiny bit different. Inhale here, and then exhale down your chaturanga. And when you cannot hold anymore, you inhale into your up dog. Up dog or Ardha Mukha Savasana. And this is where your thighs, legs, calves do not touch. Exhale into your down dog. Good. This time I am going to inhale and bring up my left leg. Exhale, bring it forward into your lunge. Okay? Take an inhaling breath. Exhale, together, inhale it up. Let's do one more round because we need to make sure that other leg got enough on there. So, let's inhale up. Back bend if you like. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, ragdoll. Inhale, and we're going to go with our, this time, let me remember, left leg back. Sometimes I can never remember which one I did first, so sorry. Back into plank. Inhale. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Exhale into down dog. Good. Inhale. I'm going to lift the leg I did not have forward last time into lunge. Exhale. Up into lunge. Take a good inhale as you exhale. Legs come together. Inhale it up. All right. So that's a little bit of our Surya Namaskar. I try to do, they always say 7 is lucky number. So 7, 14, 28, all the way up to, like if you go to 108, which I usually go 7 or I can do 14, but you got to try to remember which side you're doing and make sure you get both sides completely done. So take a quick water break, and then we're going to move to a standing balance. Oh, forgot I have a spritzer. Oh yeah, that thing is nice and lovely in the humid weather. Let's start with one of my favorites, since we're outdoors. I love tree. So most of you, I'm sure, tree is one of the first ones that everyone kind of starts with. So we're going to start again this week with tree, which is our Asana. And so let's start with holding down left leg first. And just remember, we're not stick straight on our leg. We're going to have a micro bend in it, okay? And I apologize if y'all can't see my hands up high, but we're going to try. So usually with tree, what we're going to do is usually you're at your mountain to start with, right? So we're going to inhale up. Hands will stay up. What you're going to do is just on this other side, so I've got my left leg is the one that's my base leg. My right is just going to kick not to the forward, but to the side. I'm just going to kickstand it. This is where you can start. If you have a chair or you're not good with balance, you can have your chair right here, okay, or your wall. So what you want to do is open it up, take some breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. We're into Ujjayi breathing. If this is no problem for you, then you can find your drishti, which is your spot that you want to stare at in front of you. Make sure it's kind of eye level. You don't want to be looking down too much or up too much. You want to kind of be eye level with it. And what you want to do is focus on something that's not moving. So if you have a mirror, don't focus on yourself. If you have someone else in class, don't focus on them. So you want to make sure that if you're ready to move, you've got your base leg, right? You start moving your other leg up. Continue staring at your spot. And you can keep going up. Just do not land right here on your knee. Okay, so you can stay on the calf or you can go way up high. And with tree, it's all about balance. So wherever you want to find your balance, if you're like, oh, this is so easy, challenge your balance. Start moving your hands around. I want you to do different things, you know. Do some flowing movement in and out. Do whatever. You can hold it with your arms out if you're struggling. If you're like, oh, I need a little bit of a challenge, do some breath work. See, makes your leg all wobbly. I love to get some challenge in it and see what I can do, and then, you know, lose your balance, you come out, come back in. You can also always do hands at heart center, which is a beautiful tree too, depending on what you want your tree to look like. We'll do 2 more breaths here. In through your nose, out through your nose. Beautiful. Let's inhale the arms up. Releasing, exhaling. Roll out that leg we were just on. My toes usually start to kind of feel it. My ankles, these are good ankle stabilizers too. If you're not sure how strong your ankles are, these will help to build it up. So these balances do. And of course, what you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. So we have to balance. So then we will take our other leg, which is now going to be my right, is going to be my base leg. So I'm going to make sure that as I'm in my mountain, I put most of my weight on this one and I'm just kind of up on my toes. Inhale it up. Keep your arms where you would like them for this one. Kickstand the other side. Micro bend in this base leg, please. Beautiful. And you're going to inhale and exhale through the nose, and you're going to find your drishti, your spot that you're going to stare at, okay? You can start to creep the leg up. You'll find one side is much better than the other. This is going to be my weaker side, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to put it right here on my knee because I don't want to push my knee out, so I'm going to move it up a little bit higher and see if I can balance on this one. It is nice and humid out here today, so my leg is sticking nicely. Find something you want to stare at. Not me, not yourself, not your reflection, but find a spot that does not move. Find whatever you want your hands to do, whatever kind of a tree you want. And if you want to challenge yourself, you can always do breath work. I'm going to inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. Good. Beautiful. And whatever you did last week, try to do something a little different. If your hands were different, if they were out, or if they were the wompy, like weeping willows that just kind of go, they're flying, whatever you like. Trees are always moving. So, and then when you start to lose your balance, figure out what you want to do. Cactus arms or butterfly arms is fine too. Hands at heart center is another one. Let's go ahead and all inhale up. Exhale, we're going to let the leg go. Coming down. Shake out that one. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that. I love tree. Tree's always a favorite of mine, so I can't say too much about it. I just love to do it, and then in nature you can hear all the beautiful sounds around me. Nice and humid here in Texas. If you're not in Texas, that's where I'm at right now. So what I thought we'll do, last time we did a little bit of warrior. We're going to go back into warrior because we really want to get into that warrior 2 in side lunge. Not side lunge, yeah, side angle. So I can show you how we'll prepare for bird of paradise. Over the next, 5 weeks, we want to get there to where we can actually get into bird of paradise. So coming to the forward of your mat, we're going to do just a little warrior flow. We'll go through 1 and 2, and I'll show you what we can do there, okay? So coming back to where your base is, always, if there's a standing position that's too hard or you're not understanding, you're lost, you're having to go up and look at the camera to figure out what's going on, come back to your mountain pose and just stand, pulling the head up, shooting the fingers down, shoulders go up, back, and down, letting the belly relax, tilting the pelvis under just slightly. Make sure you have that micro bend in those knees so that you're grounded into the earth and yet you're pulling yourself up. We're going to go ahead and just inhale up. Arms are up together, and what I want us to do as we exhale, I want your arms to come down tight. I want you to actually be squeezing those shoulder blades back together into your cactus arms or butterfly arms. And I don't want your arms to go all the way down. You want to keep them at shoulder length, palms out. So when you inhaled and then you exhaled, pulling those, go ahead and pick a leg to go back. We're going to go left leg goes back. And we're going to just kind of go into what our warrior 1 stance would be. So my feet are both facing forward. The back one's out just a little bit. My hips are still forward. They are a little bit uneven, but they are forward, just like my shoulders are, okay? So make sure you have a little bend in that front knee so that you're kind of on the side of that back foot. And this is going to be your warrior 1 or your Virabhadranasa. I can't say that one either. Eka, which is 1. So we're going to stay right here for a second. Take a few breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Beautiful. Inhale, arms come up to your traditional warrior 1, and we're going to exhale, rotating out to the side. So typically your warrior 1, your stance is kind of close. The warrior 2, you're going to spread out that back foot a little bit more, and you do want to make sure that you have kind of a T so that one foot's this way, one foot's the opposite, so that you kind of have your T, okay? Hips are going to face the side now, just like the shoulders. So when I twisted, everything kind of went the same, right? So with that, we have our weight back here. We get to kind of push forward, and you want to look over this forward hand, which is going to be my right hand. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to breathe in and out. Please make sure that this knee is not going over the toes. So if you have to, deepen your stance and kind of spread out that back leg a little bit more. So this position, looking forward over your front hand, is your warrior 2 or your, I'm going to try to say it again, Virabhadranasana. Dwi. I can't say that one. So we're going to keep trying it. I'm helping y'all with practicing. Y'all are helping me with these words. Go ahead and rotate your shoulders so that your palms are facing up, and we're just going to do a little reverse. So we're going to inhale, putting this one hand over here, the left hand down on the inner thigh, other one comes up, and we're not leaning back, we are just reaching for the heavens. Inhaling, exhaling, back to your warrior 2. Inhaling to reverse, exhaling into your warrior 2. Again, inhaling and exhaling. From here, go ahead and straighten that front leg, because I know it sometimes gets a little tight and starts like, hurting a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our triangle from here. So from here, we are just gonna kind of start popping this hip a little bit. And for triangle, we just hinge over And where can you reach? Can you reach here? Can you go all the way down? Find where you can position yourself. If you have a block and you need it, go ahead and put your hand on your block. Hand on the top is going to go up, and you're going to turn and look up at the sky if you can. Now, if you have neck or shoulder issues, you can just look forward. I get a lot of vertigo sometimes, so sometimes I can't look up, and the sun is up in that area right now, so it's a little hard to look, but most of the time you can look up that way. And breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. This is a beautiful triangle. Go ahead and bend this front. And if you have your block, stay here. And if you don't, you're right here. So this is your side angle, right? So this one is the one that we tried last week, and we kind of went over, and we just, if you need to relax your shoulder for a minute. We also wanted to practice putting it behind you. So your hand is up, comes back behind you into a half bind. So today, I want you to start practicing, can you get into that side lunge and just kind of put your hand up here close to your thigh, okay? That's all we're going to do today in this side angle. Next week, we're going to try to connect our hands. But today, we'll just put it up here. If you can't, you can just hold it right here. Beautiful. We're going to come back up. Now, from here, it is nice and sweaty. I want you guys to go ahead and try the warrior 3. So we're just going to get our warrior 1 stance. So bring your legs a little bit closer together. We're going to twist back to the front. Let me scoot back just a little bit because there's bricks right there. So in my warrior 1, I'm like this, right? So what I want is I want to make sure that that front leg is stable. So we're going to start with our right leg today since we're on this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start coming forward. And you just lift and you start to hinge. As you exhale, you are hinging. You have a micro bend in this base leg and you are reaching out in front of you, okay? The back leg, I want you to flex it. Beautiful. Find the spot on the ground that you can stare at. And breathe. If you can't make it all this way, then you're okay to just kind of hold with your foot down. But if you can, you want to try to make a straight line if you can. Beautiful. Take a good inhale, and as you exhale, hinge it back. Beautiful. Inhale again. Exhale together. Arms come down. So we did a little 1, 2, side angle, and 3. So those are some of my favorites to practice. So we are going to now try the other side. And sorry, warrior 3. I can't say any of the warriors. I'm trying to figure out how to learn those the best. But Virabhadrasana 3. So that's the warrior 3. We're going to try that today. So we're just adding on a little bit each time so you guys can get used to balancing. So then I do want to, I'm going to stay facing the same way so that when we do go into our lunge, I can show you how we're going to have our hands behind us so you can see it a little bit better. So get a little hydration if you need it, and then we're going to flow 1, 2, and 3 warrior again on the other side. All right, tiny sips just because it's humid out here. Because we do kind of, when we bend over, sometimes the water comes back up a little bit, so you don't want to gulp a whole lot of water. And you do want to be careful. If you're outside, room temperature water is best, not the ice cold water. Get at least 1 bottle of room temperature in you first before you start drinking the ice cold water, just so it doesn't upset any of the internal organs. All right, so we're going to go back to our warrior flow. So come back to the front of your mat for me. Come into our favorite standing position, which is your mountain. So feet shoulder width apart, shoulders up, back, and down, hands down, shooting the power through those fingers down into the earth, grounding yourself, and you have this balloon on your head that's just kind of pulling you up. So it's very active, this It looks passive, but it's not. It's very active. So from here, let's inhale up. Exhale, I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades into your cactus arms or your butterfly arms. And this time we're going to take our right leg back into our warrior one. So we're going to bend that front leg, and if I need to, I can spread it apart because I don't want to go way over. I want to make sure that my knee is behind my toes. Make sure that my back foot's a little bit to the side. Beautiful. Squeezing those back shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Arms come up. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to twist open. So now I'm going to face away from you guys just so I can show y'all. My shoulders are now facing the same way as my hips, which are going to be out here where it looks like it's like dragonfly heaven out here. There's like a million of them. And my knee, when you do get into warrior two, wants to kind of go in, right, towards your big toe. You want to try to actively push it back towards your ring toe if you can, okay? So we don't want to be all wonky on the inside. We want to be out. Hands are at shoulder length. This back foot is at an angle. If you need to spread it out more, you can. And beautiful. You guys are doing good. Inhale, exhale. So we'll do a little bit of flow. So turn your hands over. Inhale, coming up to reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten that front leg. We're going to go into our triangle. And so what you want to do is you're going to actually just start to hinge over, reaching down wherever you can. If you need that block there, you can. Otherwise, if you can put your hands down inside your ankle here is where you want to end up at. But if not, your shin is great. It's your own balancing block. If you have blocks, you can actually put them up a lot higher too if you need to. If you can only reach to, you know, a tiny bit, you can do this. You can have your chair. You can turn your blocks down to where you have a little bit more to reach. Use your blocks. They're your friends, and they are great for helping you learn how to get into the correct position. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and bend this front, which is my left, and I'm going to keep my arm here. Hands are up. And I'm going to show you from behind how we're going to go into our side angle, but we're going to do a half bind. So we're going to put our arm behind us, resting it kind of above your bottom here if you can, or on your bottom. And I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to put weight on this front foot, and I'm just going to kind of start to raise this hand up. Next week, I'm going to show you how to bind. Put your hands together like this. But right now, I just want you to kind of figure out how to get your hand back here. Usually your elbow is in your knee, the inside of your knee. And just kind of set it up here. We're going to get ready for next week, okay? Hand comes back down. Bring it back up, inhaling. And exhale, I want you to move back kind of into your warrior one. So we're going to kind of twist back this front way again. Shorten up your stance. Inhale, arms up. We're going to go into our warrior three, which is your Virabhadrasana 3. So I do want to put all of my weight on this one. I'm going to kind of come up on my toes. Inhale. Scoot back just a little bit for you guys. And as you exhale, root down on this front foot, micro bend. And as you exhale, you're just going to start to kind of get yourself hinged. Okay? Try to get a straight leg, straight arm, reaching out, pulling with that leg. Inhale, exhale. This is where if you have a chair, you hold onto the chair. You have a wall, you can push against the wall. Take a good inhale. Exhale. Come back. Inhale up. Exhale. Good. Let's do a couple of cleansing breaths. That was a good workout. When you hold something, whew, that gets you going, right? So let's just inhale up. Swan dive down, exhaling. Go ahead and inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Ragdoll it. You can leave your hands here. You can wrap them on your elbows, frame of your head, and just shake it out. Micro bend in your knees again. Just shake it out, you guys. Beautiful. Drop your arms, bend your knees, and let's roll it up, inhaling. Love it. Sweat over here. All right, so we're gonna actually take it down to the ground. So, coming to the front of my mat, I'm gonna inhale up, swan dive down, hang loose for a second, take a couple of breaths. Come down into monkey, so you're gonna bend and kind of almost sit down on the ground. If you have your blocks and you need them, you can put them right here. And we're going to actually go back into all fours. Beautiful. So all fours, last week we did a little stability. So let's go ahead and we'll do a couple of cat-cows, then we'll move into our stability. So from here, your hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips, so that you're in all four position. You're not leaning way forward. You're more directly, kind of like a little square. You can make a square right here. It's kind of nice. So we're going to start with cat-cow. So with cow is the inhale. So you're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the bottom, lift that head up. Exhale into the scared cat. So on the exhale, you're going to pull the belly up, tuck the head and chin under, look under to your belly button. Inhale back into cow, dropping the belly, raising the head up. Exhale into your scared cat. Back to neutral. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our spinal stability that we did before, our spinal balance. So we're gonna pick one side. So I'm gonna keep left arm down and I'm gonna raise my right arm. So then I need to raise my opposite. So if I have right arm up, it's gonna be left foot up, okay? We're gonna start here. Make sure you're not too high. That's why I like having a mirror to where you can kind of see what you're doing. Thumbs up, toes down. So this is our regular, take a couple breaths here. This is hard enough to get into in the beginning. Once you've mastered this, you can move on. And before, I think last week I told you we can inhale coming arms and legs up, exhale coming down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale back up. And we can actually do a little bit further, which is a little bit more of a fun thing, is you can exhale, bringing your knee and elbow together, and then inhale out. Exhale, inhale out. This is a good balancer. Whew. And then we're gonna set them down. So you try that for a few times, right? So then, let's move to the other side. So now, I'm going to actually raise my left arm. I'm gonna do my right leg. And we're gonna have thumbs up, toes down. And we're gonna try to make a straight line if we can. Inhale and exhale through your nose. If it gets too much for your breath work, you can inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. but then you probably need to just take a minute to slow down and stay in one position. But we're gonna give it a little go here. So we're gonna exhale, bringing both down. Inhale, bringing them back up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. And just for the fun of it, if you think, oh, I need a little bit more challenge, exhale, bringing that knee and elbow together. Inhale out. Exhale together. Inhale out. Exhale. Inhale out. One more. Out. Hands together. Good job. Let's go ahead and spread your knees out. Toes are touching, hands out. Let's go down to child's pose. Just take a real relaxing, put your forehead down. This is a spot to go to if ever you're not sure what you're doing on the mat. When we're on the mat, or you're just kind of like, oh, this is too much. This is a good relaxing pose for you to go to. Good. Come back up. It's nice and sweaty out here. All right, so back to your all fours, and I want to do a good stretch out for the legs real quick. So I do want to go into pigeon here in just a second. So first on all fours, I do want to do a couple more cat-cows and show you the next variation of them. So if you go to the cow and you inhale, which is raising the head up, lowering the belly, start wagging your tail and your shoulders. See where your tension is, okay? As you exhale into cat, you also want to kind of come back, get your shoulders stretched, coming back forward, inhaling into your cow, shaking your tail, shaking your shoulders, exhaling into your cat, and stretching back like a cat that's stretching it out. Do this a few times. This is always a good one just to release any tension in that lower back that you might have. I love that part, especially after some standing balances. Sometimes the lower back may give you heck. On your own breath, let's meet back at center. So that's a different variation of how we can go for all fours, and we can do our spinal balance into cat-cow, and so a little bit of variation. I'll try to add on a little bit each week so that you guys can see some variations. And then I do want to go ahead and go into pigeon, which I love. So a lot of times I find it's easier if you do it from down dog. So I do want to show y'all, go ahead and go into an active child's pose. So our toes are curled, our knees are closer together, hands are out, right? And we're just kind of down. Elbows are not on the mat at all. Spread out the hands nicely, the toes are ready, and we're going to go into down dog from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale, and as I exhale, I'm just going to push my knees up. So I didn't go into all fours, I just kind of went from child's pose to down dog. So you can move it back a little bit if you feel like you're too far apart. Now for pigeon, I love to just use the momentum. You can raise one leg, so I'll raise my left leg on the inhale, and then on the exhale, I'm going to swing it forward, bending my knee and bringing my knee up in between my hands, okay? Now, a lot of times you do want to kind of move your foot out just a little bit to the side. Eventually, you want to get like your, my elbows, my knee, and my hands, my foot. You do want to get it kind of a 90-degree angle, but starting out, just leave it right here. We're not on the side, though, on your buttocks. We are more over here in the middle, if you guys can see, okay? And so, I'm going to scoot back a little bit. There we go. So you can see a little bit better. This back foot comes down. And what you want to do is you can just stay right here. Breathe in and out through the nose if you can. you should be feeling a stretch back here in your glute, your thigh. It's coming around. You're feeling a great stretch, right? If you feel somewhat of a stretch and you want a little bit more, we don't ever want to feel a sharp pain. Sharp pain is a no-no. We don't want to go there. But you want to feel a tight pulling so that you can tell that it's working. So if you feel that and you're like, oh, it's not, you know, I could use a little bit more, you can come out front here, kind of walk yourself down to your elbows. That works a little bit tighter for me. You can also come all the way down and put your forehead down. That usually really stretches out the glutes and also the back here on the side, the hamstring. It gets it going really good. Now, if you have knee issues, this is not going to be the best pose for you. You're going to do it laying down on your back, but you can bring your knees in. So, with no knee issues, we're going to do this one. And we're just going to breathe. Stretching out the big muscles of those legs. We got them all fired up a minute ago. We're going to stretch them out. You're going to inhale, and as you exhale, if you were not already on your forearms, come to your forearms. You're going to progress out of it. We're going to progress back up to our hands. Okay? Good. We're going to curl this back toe, and we're going to bring this leg back into our all fours, into our active child's pose, curling the toes under, arms come out. We're down, right? So we're in our active child's pose. Inhale. As you exhale, lift those knees up. Beautiful, into your down dog. Then we're going to raise our other leg up, which is now going to be my right leg on the inhale. On the exhale, swing it forward, bending it, putting the knee in between the hands. And then as you can tell, this is where my foot is. Sometimes you want to try to get it out. This is my tighter side, so I'm going to stay right here. And I'm not on my bottom. I'm over here, so that my heel is touching my opposite side pubic bone here. And I want this foot back here to be relaxed. And you always have one side that's tighter than the other, so if there's one side that you can't move down on, that's fine. You go where you need to go, where it feels best to you, okay? On the inhale, and then exhale is when you can move. Inhale's good for kind of tightening up the muscle, and then on the exhale you can go into a relaxation phase of the muscle, which is really nice when you start having that the stretching phase, the active stretching. I'm going to come all the way down and just take a minute to breathe in and out. Feel that stretch so good back in that glutes. They a little bit of the maximus and a little bit of the medial back there, and then the hamstring starts to get it. Love that stretch. This is a favorite for a lot of the active groups that I do workout for. They do a lot of running, a lot of sprinting. They do a lot of weight movement, so they love this one. Inhale, and we're going to start to come out of it. So as you inhale, exhale, you're going to come up. If you need to come to your elbows, come up to your palms. And what we can actually do on this one is we can actually just kind of turn onto our bottom and just come to a seated position. I'm going to scoot down to my mat just a little bit. And I will show you real quick how you can do the reverse pigeon. So if you have knee or hip issues and can't get down on the mat like that, I will show you a different way to get into it, which is nice to be able to lay down and get into it. So on the inhale, exhale just for fun, we're going to start slowly going down vertebrae by vertebrae. Slowly. You can even hold it a little bit longer if you need to. I'm gonna scooch down. So then what we can do for the reverse pigeon, I'll show you, is usually you'll start out, you'll have one foot that's on the mat. So we'll keep my right leg on the mat, right foot on the mat. The left one I'm gonna bring over, and I'm just gonna kind of put my ankle here on the thigh. And in this position, this is when you can actually thread underneath the thigh and you can actually pull it in. So go all the way up, there we go, and pull up, and you can pull it towards you so that now you can feel that stretch without putting all that pressure on your knee, all of your own weight on it. So if you need to do, this is the reverse pigeon, kind of a reverse lying pigeon, so that you can put as much pressure as you need, or you can back off. And then if it's not enough, you can always grab opposite or same foot. So I've got same hand, same foot, and you can grab your feet and bring it forward to you. And I feel a much deeper stretch there in my my glute muscles, really good right there. So you're gonna release, both feet will come to the mat. Now we're gonna do the opposite leg. So now I'm gonna keep my left foot down, my right foot's the one that comes up. Right ankle is gonna go over my left thigh. I'm gonna thread now through my left thigh and pull it back towards me, however much I need it to get a good stretch. If it's not enough, you can do same hand, same ankle, and you can pull them back towards you. Just to get a little tighter. We're going to release, putting both feet back on the mat. We're going to go ahead and do our final few poses here. So I want you to bring both knees up. I want you to hug them. Hug them real tight. And then release your head back down. And what I want you to do is do some circles. One way. Do it maybe twice. And then let's go the opposite way, massaging that lower back. Love that area. Into kind of the sacral area, that's nice. We're gonna put our arms out, palms up, and we're just gonna windshield wiper slowly. This one's nice for your, it's kind of into your upper mid back. So we do have a little bit of thoracic and lumbar in this area. Just pick a side and we're gonna let gravity take it down. And whichever way your knees are facing, you're actually gonna look the opposite direction for a full twist. If you need to, you can put your hand underneath these knees, or you can even use a block if you need. I'll show you, you can just put it right here so that your legs will just rest right there and you don't have to worry about holding them and shaking. You can let them just sit right there. Whichever way your block needs to be. If you can't get very far, you can use your block tall if you need to. Whichever way you need it, okay? Take a few breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose. Good. We're going to inhale back to center. And guess what? We're going to go the other side now. So exhale to the other side. Whichever way my knees go, my head goes the other way. Good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bringing your legs back up. And we're going to slowly put our feet down, slowly stretch them out, and let's go into our Savasana. So if you're good with Savasana and you're good, you can even put some blocks over here to rest your arms on. If you're like me, you like to tighten everything up bit by bit. I get my hands tightened, I get my neck tightened, my shoulders, my elbows, my abs, my thighs, my glutes. I curl my toes. Inhale, and then as I exhale, I release it all. And just let your hands fall out to the side. Let your jaw relax. Let your head relax. If you have a hair tie back there, you might have to move it so that your head can fall back naturally. Let everything relax. Start with your toes. Is there any tension in your toes? If so, wiggle them out. Is there any tension in your legs, your bottom? Relax your bottom. If it's tight, relax your abs. Coming up, fingers, your elbows. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Your jaw's relaxed. Your teeth are not clenched. They are relaxed. Eyes are relaxed. Just take a moment to listen to the nature around you. And be thankful for the practice you've had today. A gorgeous day it's been, and your intention has been set. You're back at natural breathing. Natural into your belly. Just take a minute to breathe. You can stay here 5-10 minutes if you like. Usually stay for a couple of minutes. And then to come out of it, you'll just start wiggling your toes and your fingers. You don't have to open your eyes, you just kind of wiggle the body a little bit, kind of moving back and forth. Bring your feet up so that your feet are on the mat. And we're just going to roll over into one side into a fetal position. I'm going to rest my head in my elbow here, and my other arm's going to be right out front, just kind of holding on to the ground for me. I'm going to start to push up and come up to a seated position. You can keep your eyes closed, you can open your eyes, whatever you like. Make sure you kind of rock back and forth and spread out the fat part from the glutes, because you want to sit on your sits bone if possible. That's the best area for you to get a good just grounding to the earth. And let's just do a shoulder, neck roll to one shoulder, then around to the other shoulder. And then go the other way. Beautiful. Look up. Look back down. And neutral. If you will, we're going to do a couple of cleansing breaths to finish it out today. Inhale up. Hands together, bring them down to your heart. Exhaling. Inhale up. Hands together, bring them to your third eye. And inhale up. Hands together to your crown. The light in me honors, appreciates, and loves the light in you. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. If you want to, go ahead and like, subscribe so you can join when we go live. And if you will, this is ActivelyAmber signing off, and if you will bow and say namaste. Namaste. And thank you all.